team. Welcome to 10 Talks. We are finding joy on the journey, and we have doubled up today with Khalia in terms of her teammate Brittany is joining us. So welcome, Brittany. Great to have you and Khalia. And today we're talking about really how to be for each other and that power of a support team to really be competitively great for ourselves, for our teammate, for our team, for our performance. So, Brittany, tell us a little bit about you since you're our guest today. Just tell us about a competitively great moment that you've had.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I know there's lots of them, but you can pick one or so.
Yeah. I think in my career, one of the best moments was when I was in high school. We had a great team chemistry, and we won the national championship when we were 16 and also 18. And just that feeling of overcoming, those obstacles and really battling together as a team for each other. We really wanted to win and play for each other. And I think having that chemistry is what helped us succeed.
Well, Brittany, that's a perfect one for our conversation today because that chemistry is the magic of like beautiful love and, for each other. And you watch teams come together that aren't necessarily the most talented, but boy, when they are for each other on an authentic, deep level, that's when championships come, and that's how champions are made. And so, Khalia, let's talk about, you and I are on this journey. We're really going through your season with you. And let's start with just the power of a support team. You two are on the same team. You are for each other. You're each other's support team. Brittany, let's talk about with you. What have you learned about just from that film that you just shared with us from your teammates? How have you brought that into your pro career, and how does it relate to you and Khalia being teammates?
Yeah, I think being teammates with Khalia has been really special. We also played together in college. But I think we've established a really good relationship and friendship on and off the court. And when each of us is struggling, we know and we've learned the right things to say. And we also openly communicate about what we need on and off the court, whether we need advice, whether we need motivation, whether we need someone to kick us in the butt or give us confidence, tell us we're good enough, tell us we can do it, technical advice, stuff like that. But even last night, I was really struggling at our game, and Khalia was there for me at every step of the way, saying, you can do this, you've got this, it will come to you, hit this shot, giving me technical advice, stuff like that. And that's what really is motivating during the game, and that's what can really help you. Because your coach can say things, but it's your teammates that are on the court with you. You have to develop that trust and that connection with them in order to be a successful team.
Khalia, let's watch the film from last night's game. Perfect example. So what did you learn as a teammate? We certainly heard you were there for Brittany. How were you there for her in a way that felt, authentic to you, and how did it work?
Yeah, so I know Carlette and I have talked about this because I texted her after the game, and as we all know from these talks, I've been struggling the past couple weeks, and yesterday it just kind of felt like with my playing contribution, it finally started to match what I wanted. So I felt like I was being valuable, I don't know, just contributing to my team and helping my teammates. And then that usually gives me the confidence to say stuff usually. And it's kind of a fault of mine. I know I need to work on it. I'm not that vocal with my leading or holding my teammates accountable. And it's because I'm like, girl, you did not get that dig 2 points ago. Stop yelling at your teammates, Khalia. But last night, I don't know, I also don't think I was yelling at Brittany ever, but I was just if I was Brittany, this is what I would want to hear. And I've just told her, I remember a deep shot is open. And I don't know, just Brittany, she said, it's really special to be on a team with her. And she's just I don't know, we've just really, I guess we have worked on it, and we've had these conversations on and off the court about what we need. I didn't even realize that we were doing that, but just being receptive and open to your teammates, those conversations just kind of intertwine themselves into your local or normal talk. So yeah, like I don't remember ever like really working on it, but like we have facilitated that relationship together, and like I really do appreciate that.
So, Brittany, you're bringing up something that's so powerful in terms of this relationship and communication. For those people that don't have what you and Khalia have and they're listening, if you can think about like, when is the communication broken, or like, what's the way not to do it that really offends or hurts? Because it's so powerful. We can say the same words, but if we have established a relationship, they come into us in a way that feels for us. If we haven't invested in the relationship and we say some words, it feels like more of criticism or that we're being attacked. And so what are some winning strategies for people to really learn how to get what you and Khalia have?
Yeah, I think the communication aspect is the most important. Even if you're not the best of friends, your goal is still to win. So if you have that mindset and that goal in mind, I think it's important to ask your teammates, especially maybe if you're the best players on the team or you want to establish a relationship with them on the court. I think that's important, but asking them what they need in terms of when they're struggling, or looking at the way that they communicate with you or with other people, that's normally what they also want to receive. So if they communicate in like a technical way, and they're always telling people, giving people technical advice, then maybe you can look at that, and when they're struggling, you can give them technical advice.
And so what do you do if it doesn't work? What if somebody says something and it really offends you? How do you let that person know that, that is not working for me? Thank you very much.
I would say in the moment, I think it's more of a personal like issue that you have to say they didn't mean it in this way, and then game in a better setting, more relaxed setting where you can have an actual conversation and there's not the pressure of the game. You can tell them, communicate with them like, hey, I didn't like your tone or these words that were said to me. I would prefer if you said it in this way.
Right. Yeah, Brittany, what's beautiful about that, in the moment, be focused on basically, the purpose of why you're there, what you're trying to do, the desired outcome. And that's for the team and it's for competitive greatness. And, so what if somebody said something in a way that offended me? Be bigger than that and really go into why I'm there versus making it about me and pulling it into kind of a small situation. Just go big with it, like receive it and learn from it and go for it. So
let's try to on purpose, they're trying to help you. Coaches, they can be mean, but they're always trying to help you. They're trying to help you succeed.
Well, they're for you, right? I mean, we're all in this together. So, and yet, definitely we all manage pressure differently in terms of if I'm under pressure or we're losing or we're not doing well, I may come off as a not so fabulous way. And you being for me and just being like, what, however she said it, I still know that she's for me. That helps in such a big way. Let's talk about last night if we can. Let's just do some real film and demonstrate how to do this, how to be great teammates and be for each other and being competitively great. So let's watch our film. That's what our language is in terms of we do it in sport. We sit down and we technically watch our film. And then from an emotional support perspective, we can do the same with our friends or our teammates. When we've come down from the game, we've got, kind of after the game, we're talking or not talking, depending on how we did. So Khalia, what would be your questions to Brittany that you'd want to know about last night's game as you watch your film?
Whoa. About me personally. And
yeah, just right. Yeah. Just demonstrating how to be great teammates and how to be for each other from a communication perspective.
Well, I think like we've all separately, I've had this conversation with Brittany and I've had this conversation with you where I feel like there's this like version of Khalia that comes out sometimes and I'm like, oh, she's here and she's great, everyone. And I'm so proud
of it when she shows up, right?
Yeah, I'm like, welcome to Puerto Rico. And my coach even said that to me last night. But yeah, there's this version of me that I'm trying to chase, it feels like, and she's playing hide and go seek with me. And last night I like found her and she was missing for the past 2 games in Puerto Rico. And I don't know, just like, I guess as a teammate, did you notice anything that I did differently? It's also so hard for me. This is what I struggle with. It's like not like last night I prepared to like find her. It's
Right.
like sometimes she just shows up and I'm like, welcome to the party. Like, I'm just so happy to have you here. Yeah, but like, I don't know what happens for her to like appear.
Yeah.
And that's what.
Because I don't think our preparation was any different. Like nothing was different last night than it normally was. But Khalia went off. Like she had such a great game. She literally carried the team on her back. And you can notice that confidence, like in the first few swings when
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Because especially in volleyball, if you get set like a high ball or a bad set and you still have the confidence to go for it, I think you can, as a player, you can see when your teammate is comfortable and is confident and is willing to really go for it. And I feel like you weren't doing that in the other games. And last night you really did that. And I think the roles were reversed because I've been doing that in the other games. And I was trying to help her. But last night I really struggled and I wasn't confident and I felt really disappointed in myself. Like after each set, after each point, I felt like I hadn't found, you know, the best version of myself throughout the game. And I was trying and Khalia was trying to help me, giving me those like great words of advice, technical advice, pushing me, driving me, the whole team was, but I couldn't find it.
And Brittany, what was your performance barrier? We call that just any barrier that got in the way. What got in the way of you not being able to be your best Brittany last night?
Definitely my own self-doubt is always what gets in the way. It's like you have the opportunity to score, to make the point, to really go for it. And it's that little voice in the back of my head that says, well, what if you can't? What if you make an error? What if you disappoint your team? But not going for it is what disappoints your team, you know? Yeah. So it's always that battle in my head of like, how much power do I put on this? Which choice do I make when I'm swinging or, you know, and then just mentally, I'm so in my head, I get out of flow. I start overthinking and that's what eventually leads to my downfall.
So Khalia, as her teammate, you two got to watch beautiful films. So she gave you some real insight into just that confidence that shows up. So the good news is you can invite the confident Khalia to join you as often as possible, right? And it's a feeling. And as Brittany said, she could see it. So this is like a golden nugget that we can be looking for in terms of, are you feeling confident? And what I really respect about confidence is it's not something you can manufacture. I believe, you know, some people say fake it till you make it. That's great if that works for them. I'm more about what can I do to really, you know, gain that confidence so that it's not a mystery to me. It's not like, is that confidence going to show up? Or, you know, I gain my confidence when I get a good hit. It's more that I'm going to bring the confidence with me so that whatever shows up on the court, I'm prepared to really be able to deliver in a way that's powerful versus fearful.
And I don't know, I'm just like thinking about our past conversations, and I don't know if this goes back to like redefining what winning is for ourselves, but like for me, like I'm thinking watching my film about like when I was struggling, and like for example, like Brittany is a teammate that I respect. I would like absolutely listen to whatever she says, and she's like, just go for it, keep swinging hard, swing high, you're fine. And even if I like get in a better rhythm, it's hard to like start building confidence if I don't have like the kills to back it up or whatever that is. And so like I don't know, I guess like how do you redefine winning for yourself, or like how do you build the confidence if you're not executing?
So I want to talk about ego and really how that serves or doesn't serve us, because an ego from a perspective of competitive greatness, if you are for you and everything is about, I am committed to being my very best for my teammates, right? So I'm focused on me, not for me to get the attention or for it to be about, you know, what people are thinking about me. If I'm being competitively great for me to be From an ego perspective, like noticed or anything that's I-centered, it's going to be really fragile, because if I don't do really great, I'm not going to trust that anymore. Versus if I'm being competitively great, focused on being for me, for my team, so that everything I'm doing is I'm going to bring my best self for my teammate. I'm going to bring, the minute I can get out of me and into we, all of a sudden my brain quiets down and it has a very intentional focus. If the focus is I-centered, it's noisy. It's like, you hear parents, you hear coaches, you hear fans, you hear social media. There's a lot of voices going off in there, versus your strength to take your ego and have it be for you in a way that helps you be great for your team and bring whatever the team needs. It quiets it down and it wraps it in purpose. So when it's purpose anchored, it's a lot different than me centered.
Yeah.
What does that feel like?
I like understand that, and that feels better. And I think when I'm thinking about it from here in my apartment, it's good. And I'm like, okay, like when I'm feeling down, like for example, it does make me feel better when I'm doing really bad. I'll be like, but Brittany's doing great, and I'm like so happy for her. Really, like that feels better. But then when I'm in the
Time out,
game,
Khalia, real quick. That's a connection to we, right? So you took it off of you, and consciously you were like, I'm going to think about my teammate. I'm going to be for my teammate. I'm going to authentically be for Brittany, versus disappointed that Brittany's doing well and you're not doing well. That's when it breaks.
yeah,
I know.
yeah,
I'm not saying you do that at all, but I'm saying some people that, this is what we're talking about, is really getting to see that champion model. And a champion mindset is always for their teammates, because the purpose is the team, right? The purpose is not your stats. The purpose is, how do I really bring this for my team? So you do a beautiful job of that. That's a great example. Not everybody has learned that yet.
Yeah, I do understand that. And like always feeling like happy when I see my teammates doing well or my team's doing well. But like right after you like mess up on that ball, like my thinking is like doomsday. Doomsday is happening. And then
like Khalia has left the building, right?
Like I have to just keep reminding myself like the gratitude of being there.
Well, go ahead, Brittany.
Sorry. I think that one good strategy that both of us use on occasion when you're doing that in like one specific aspect of volleyball, because there's multiple skills that you have to be good at to be successful during the game. And like, if you're not passing well, you can say like, oh, I'm going to attack well for my teammates, or vice versa. If I'm not attacking well, I can say, but I'm going to be the best blocker I can for my teammates.
Right.
And I think that helps take the focus off of this one skill that's not working for you and puts it towards something you can be good at to help your teammates, gets you out of your head.
Well, Brittany, that was perfect. So last night, let's get into your head, because we're watching film. And last night, your fabulous Brittany didn't show up for you. So do you feel like that? Were you doing that? Did it work? Did it not work? I mean, that's what's great about these conversations.
No, I don't feel like I did that last night. I know like mentally and in my head, and I can talk about it now, that that's what I should do. And that's a tool that I can use to help myself in games. But last night I was just like so in my head. I was honestly trying to give myself technical advice about like where I should hit, what I should do, what the other team is trying to do. And I don't feel like I focused enough on what else I can contribute to my teammates, because my ego was there and I was disappointed in myself that I disappointed my team.
Yeah. And this is talk about our identity. Our identity, if we win a game, we feel like a winner. If we lose a game, we feel like a loser. I mean, this is that battle that we have, because we're competitively great. I mean, we are going for greatness. We're competitive. And so when we're not doing well, it's not a casual thing. So, I mean, I really want to respect that and be able to, that's what we're talking about.
It feels like life.
Yeah, like, you
It
know,
does.
life is over because I sucked last night or whatever, and it's just,
Oh,
it's
I
the
feel.
truth.
That's literally how it feels.
Yeah. So there you go, team. I mean, it's just about the truth. So, so let's talk about competitive greatness because I want to make sure that we leave you two today and anybody that's listening set up for success. We all feel like how you feel. We have good games and not so fabulous games. And just having a teammate that you can have this kind of conversation with in terms of what worked for me last night, what didn't work for me, and reminding each other about the power of our ego being either an I or a we. Because as soon as you're able to say, I'm getting this from my teammate, like my team needs this right now. So much of the technical, it's good if it's working for you. If it's not, you've got to relax and let that muscle memory kick in, right? I mean, you've done these drills a million times, you know how to hit, you know what to do. This is where the love component of competitive greatness comes in, because when we, in our work in terms of competitive greatness, we talk about truth, faith, and love. So we've just talked about the truth. The truth is sometimes the fabulous Khalia shows up and the fabulous Brittany shows up, and sometimes they don't. And so just being able to be like, wow, tonight, I'm struggling. That's the truth. Faith is that I'm going to get the next play. I'm going to do better. I'm committed to doing better. And Khalia, you and I have been working on this for the last couple of weeks, right? Really putting your focus into what you're committed to versus what's not working. And so that's that faith component. And then the love component is just opening your heart from a wholehearted perspective to be so engaged in being such a great teammate and, really being competitively great for the team that it pushes you out of the way from an ego perspective and your mind gets to do what you really want to do. So, Brittany, what does that sound like to you as you play your film of last night and you put in truth, faith, and love?
The truth for me was that, like you said, I just didn't show up last night. Like my best self, Brittany, like great player, powerful, strong, nothing unstoppable, honestly. Just didn't show up. And the faith in myself was completely lost, and I feel, I don't know.
This is like exactly, but this is the conversation Carlette and I had, and I was like, I hope I do better. I'm trying to do better, and like just trying to reframe my thinking to saying like, no, I'm committed to doing better.
Yeah.
And like just saying that to myself.
But that's how I felt. I felt like I had my teammates backing me up. I had my voice inside my head saying, okay, it's not working, but I'm gonna go for it on this next one, or I'm gonna try to do it. And when the split second comes to do it, it's like this self-doubt. I guess I didn't really trust myself.
Right.
I didn't have like real faith in myself that it was gonna happen. I was just kind of reciting these things in my head.
You were hoping. I mean, you were hoping it was going to happen. But hope is, I mean, I love hope. It's a huge component. In this situation, when we're talking about competitive greatness, we need truth, faith, and love. So that's what Khalia and I have worked so intentional on is I want her language to be, I'm committed to greatness, not I hope this works. I hope, because the brain gets confused, right? The brain is already nervous and we've got to bring back that confidence. And that's that faith component that, okay, next play, I am committed to greatness. I am committed to being unstoppable. Brittany, I love that about you, being unstoppable. If that's your one trigger word that shows up, it quiets everything down. So if your faith component from a perspective of, I'm going to, the truth is that was a bad hit. Okay, next play, faith, I'm unstoppable. That's you having faith in yourself and really bringing back the best you so that you can step into that love.
Yeah.
So keep
going.
When
you talk about love, do you mean like love of the sport, love of ourselves, of our teammates, just in all aspects?
Yeah, when I talk about love, my definition, and then I'm curious about your two definition, it's just a very powerful component of why. So if I'm doing something for the love of the game, for the love of my teammates, for the love of just respecting the talents I've been given, I'm playing for something so much bigger than myself versus if I'm just trying to perform or get 1 point or, not get yelled at or not get taken out or, some of those things that to me would be, distracting and not really worthy of me doing all this work. when I talk about love, that way when I go to practice, I'm there because I love my teammates. I might not feel like practicing, but I respect this game. I love my teammates. I love the opportunity that I've been given. So it really focuses my mindset on being for me at a really deep, passionate level rather than a task oriented or just kind of getting through the day.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. And I feel like I often lose sight of that broader picture of things because when I'm at practice and I'm not feeling well, like, or I'm playing bad in a game, like my vision is like with blinders on. Like I get super laser focused on my emotions in the moment and trying to get out of that, that I completely lose sight of that broader picture and that broader vision of why I'm even here.
And that's the power of love, is that immediately opening yourself up, just to use your visual like this, you're closed down, right? I mean, you're just, this is all, but the minute you think about love and you open up and you look at Khalia in the eye, or, you look at your teammates, or you even look at the ball and are like, I am here for this. I am here for this game, the love of the game. It brings your attention back to your heart and playing with heart and playing with passion and playing for something bigger than you versus being disappointed in the fact that, that game is letting you down right now. Leah, what shows up for you from a truth, faith, and love perspective?
For me, I think like I'm really what stuck with me from that conversation was the love component, and my love for volleyball. Like I was thinking about how I would describe it, and I feel like it's like the abusive relationship that your best friend just can't get out of. And that's how I kind of feel about volleyball, but like things that I know I love are like the idea of supporting a family one day and like being happy and comfortable. And like I think eventually volleyball can lead me to there. And like in Italy, that was my why and that was my love, to like try to reframe my thinking. Here I can like really anchor more into the like teammates coach component. Like I just really adore like Brittany, Dolly Santana, Val, my coach, and the staff. And like I can like I think it gets lost sometimes because I'm like, I love them so much, I do not want to disappoint them.
Right.
But I think holding myself back because of fear isn't fair either. And I would rather like go out there guns a-blazing for them than be like the timid, I don't want to disappoint them, And that, I'm like almost emotional right now. That just kind of like really hits me and connects with me, and like was just kind of like the gratitude thing that I needed today for sure to hear.
Well, notice that we've connected to your heart and the love that you feel for something so much bigger rather than it being about last night's performance. And so what's really a gift to all of us, just as we're going on this journey with the two of you and getting to talk today, is that most high achievers and competitive people do have a love-hate relationship with their sport or their job because they win and lose. And so, and they hate losing. So, the fact that that career or volleyball has the ability to make you lose, you don't want to lose at anything. That's just who you are. So the love-hate relationship comes into play with the fact that it's a powerful component that you can lose, and you do not like that at all. Not just meaning you, just meaning a high achiever, a competitive person doesn't want to lose at anything, doesn't want to lose at anything they're doing. So this is where the reframing comes in for you to really be able to have it about the relationships. So the relationship that you love right now is your teammates and, your coaches. And that's where the ego is afraid of letting them go. Anytime fear shows up, your ego is being like, it's all about you. Don't let them down. I. When you stretch into being for them and it's all about, I love my teammates, I'm going to bring it, I'm going to, this is for my team. All of a sudden you've moved into a deep love rather than a shallow ego moment. Make sense? Thoughts or questions? Brittany, this is your first workout. So what would you say to all of this?
I think I definitely have learned from this conversation that I need to dive deeper into my ego and what I'm thinking about on the court, because I feel like I'm very eye-centered especially when I'm not doing well. When I am doing well, I'm like, okay, yeah, we're getting these kills for the team, but when I'm not doing well, I'm like just disappointed in myself. Like it's
Welcome
very
to being human, right? I mean, I think that's that's our human moment.
yeah, exactly. And the ego just takes over and like makes me shut down. So I think that's something that I definitely need to look at more and work on so that I can be my best self every game and not get into these ruts and holes that I get into sometimes during the games.
So, Brittany, what words of wisdom do you want Khalia to give you as a teammate to bring you back to this moment that we're having right here?
I think she already has done a great job of, doing what she can and what I need. Trying to bring me out of those moments. She was saying all the right things. All my teammates were saying the right things last night to try to get me out of it, giving me technical advice, giving me confidence, saying, go for it. Just things like that, that I know in my head, like it's helping me and I'm really trying to push myself to get out of this. And I think she was doing everything, correctly. But I just couldn't like.
I'm
Get out of it.
curious what your like love is, like what you connect to,
On the court.
like your why, I guess.
I really still love volleyball. Like I really love playing. I love competing. I just love the sport and the game, and
I don't
And
know if I
especially-
agree with
especially I don't think it was that way really in college. Like I was kind of over it for some of the years, but I think recently, especially being in Puerto Rico, and playing with these teammates, that's also part of my why is the volleyball, but also being with these teammates and this organization, staff, all of it kind of together in this situation is a blessing. It's very rare that something like this is put together and is so cohesive and fun.
Yeah. It's a moment in time, right? It's a season of great gratitude, relationships, love. So, Brittany, I just want to give you a winning strategy. Anytime in your brain when you say, I'll try to, change to, I'm committed to. So whenever you say try, there's a lot of room for the self-doubt to come in, and there's some film that starts running like, I'll try to, but last week I couldn't. I'll try to, but that hit didn't work. I'll try to, but. So your brain gets tripped up in that versus I'm committed to put you in that forward focus, and your brain goes, yeah, I'm committed to being unstoppable, and there's no confusion. So it helps to bring back that confidence. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I will.
So that's one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the good news is that's one change that you can make immediately in your mindset that you can just start practicing. Every time you use the word try, stop yourself, time out, like, what am I committed to? And you insert the commitment versus the trying.
Yeah.
Khalia, what are your winning strategies from today's conversation?
I'm just so happy we did this. I like learning about Brittany and like getting into her mindset just makes me like want to be a better teammate for her. I also think like everyone else, I'm such a person, like when I'm doing bad, once again my ego, I'm like, here we go, like I'm the worst person ever. And then like last night I knew Brittany was like struggling in her head, but like the whole time I was just like, she's just so amazing. And like I've told Brittany this, like she's like I get to live with like an idol, and like she's just worked through so many, like not really, like she's worked through so much, and like I've gotten to see that, and like I don't know, I just like really felt the gratitude towards her, and like I knew she was struggling, but I still had like a positive thoughts and like about her, and I just like wish I could put that on her, but it's like so hard, and I know how hard it is when you're experiencing it.
But I could feel that from her and from Val and from the sidelines. Like they were giving me help and, looking at me like, you can do this. And I felt that they believed it. It's just a matter of me like taking it in and believing it myself.
Well, Brittany, you just said one of the most difficult things to do is to receive love. And so whenever we're in a situation when we're not doing well, yeah, big moment there. So, we're just sticking with your film right from last night. When you're not doing well and you feel like you're not worthy of everything that everybody's giving you, it's going into somewhat of a closed brain. So like literally, if you think about a cup that's open or one that's closed, everybody's for you and they're loving on you and they're giving you, you've got this, next play. Everybody's doing all the right things because you're not anchored in the love of yourself, of the game, of the teammates. You've closed yourself off to not receive any of it. So that's why it doesn't work, is that it's like, wow, everybody's saying and doing, it's almost out of body experience. Like you're somewhat pulled yourself out and you're disconnected. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where the love comes in, is that you want to anchor in love and be worthy of it. Yes, you missed a point, but you're still a great teammate. Yes, you missed a point, or yes, you missed a serve, and I'm committed to getting the next one. Notice how I'm in just the motion of being for each other, for myself, and focused on love versus that I'm not worthy or I suck or any of that negative self-talk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think those are great strategies. And I think you hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah. So team, thank you for this. Thank you too for just sharing. We're taking this week by week, and Khalia's given us just the joy of being able to come on this journey. And Khalia and I connect quite a bit. And today they had a game last night, and I asked Brittany if she'd come on. We did it super quick. And so Brittany, just thank you for just being open and saying yes. That's another winning strategy, is just saying yes to opportunities that show up. So thank you both of you.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I needed this, honestly.
Well, the good news is we are here. We are here to give hope and just to be for each other. And you two have demonstrated and given hope to anybody on the team or anyone that wants to listen. Just your courage and vulnerability is such a gift of hope. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, team, it's up to you. Go out and be a great teammate. Be for you. Be competitively great, which means practicing truth, faith, and love. So it's your week. Be a champion for you.